both of you are here, so it's going to be doubly good.
There you go. I love pairing up with Maria.
I know.
I have to say, I am very impressed because I found out that both of your children play chess.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to brag a little bit. My nephew West, who is 6 years old, is this like expert chess player. He does lessons, so you can see him there teaching Grant how to play. Grant doesn't have as much patience as West does when it comes to the chess, but he loves it. And I have found it's such a great way for us to spend some time together, especially with the weather being so cold too. But the one-on-one time is so great.
And no screen time, right? Yeah, my daughter Layla and I play regularly. She loves it. So Layla's got a much sort of weaker teacher in her brain. But I'm having fun. There I was losing. You can tell on the left. I take it very serious. It's my guilt face. I'm going to come at her. But we have a lot of fun, like you say, the lack of screen time and just that time alone. It's quiet,
so great.
It's peaceful.
I'm so impressed. We cannot get through a game of Candyland, much less chess. I'm very impressed because it's very good. It's good for strategy, spatial thinking, mathematics, and it's even good for adults because it helps with the onset of Alzheimer's and all sorts of things.
There's so many things, and so Ken and I went big with this, and I thought that this giant chessboard with all the really fun, like DIY pieces would make it extra special, and just kind of go big with it and animated.
Because honestly, I think with my kids, it's like it's not something like this. They would be engaged in learning how to play. So I think it's great for beginners.
And I love how it kind of folds up, and we'll see how in just a minute. So let's get started.
All right.
What do we have here, Ken?
So this, I took care of the board. It's very easy. What I went with, I wanted a 4-foot by 4-foot board, and mostly that's because that's what's easily available. Go to the hardware store, get 2 of these 2-by-4 foot. You don't have to cut them. They'll come like this. They're already a nice finish. And then get either 2 small or 1 large piano hinge. As you can see here, I've already attached it here, Cameron. I'm going to ask you
to finish that off.
To finish that. And the reason I did a piano hinge, it's just, if you do, it's 1 or 2 hinges. If you did regular hinges, you'd have to put probably 4 or 5 on there. And it's just on the regular hinges, it's sometimes a little bit hard to line them up properly, and then it starts getting wonky. If you never work with a piano hinge, it's great for big pieces because it really does fasten them together in a very easy way.
I gotta say also, that obviously makes it a lot easier to store, the fact that you can just kind of fold it up.
Fold it, put it under the bed.
Yeah, slip it under the couch or something.
Very easy.
Okay, good.
So here's the actual board. Very easy. So what I did, because it's already well finished, I just went over it with a coat of semi-gloss or high-gloss white paint. Get your base, and then I use this. I'm gonna actually hand these squares to you all. You all can start finishing this. All this is a sheet of self-adhesive vinyl. It comes from any craft store, comes in several colors. You don't have to do blue. And as you can see, it's gridded on the back. I basically cut it into 4. They're 12-inch squares, so I cut them into 4, so I have exactly the right size. They're 6-inch squares. And then all you do is, I don't believe I'm trusting Cameron.
Oh my God,
like,
I'm so
that
impressed.
is very good. It almost matches.
Oh, you're doing better than I am.
It was good up until the almost word. Got it.
No, very. So just take your time with this. You don't just get your first one 6 inches in and then just do your grid. It's very easy. And then what you do want to do afterwards is seal the entire thing. The rest of the board I went over with polyacrylic, not polyurethane. Polyurethane is going to give if you use white, is going to give it a yellow cast. Polyacrylic is water-based, and it will not discolor. So if you ever have a white, use polyacrylic, not polyurethane. That's going to seal everything down so that the kids can fold and go.
Cameron.
And they're done.
Come on, I love this. I'm getting excited about this. We have the board, which looks fantastic, thanks to Maria and I, and you helped a little bit too.
I do.
You did all right. Now, the chess pieces. Now, this is an interesting twist on this, and I think, like you guys pointed out, a way to really engage and draw in the whole family.
Yes, so I have to tell you, half the fun of making the actual pieces is deciding what you want the pieces to be. So you could really get creative with this, and you could choose a theme and do all safari animals. Most of mine are safari animals. So my son, I have to tell you, my son Grant and I were sitting on the kitchen floor trying to figure out which animals were which pieces for chess. And my husband, the peanut gallery in the other room, was like, because I told him, I go, well, the queen has to be a unicorn. He goes, that's not a safari animal. So it was just,
it all depends upon where you safari. If you safari in Narnia.
Us husbands, we try to keep you in check. He was just doing his part.
Yeah, but what's so funny, honestly, we had such a fun time. We were laughing so much. I missed whatever you just said. So that, no, so we just had so much fun figuring that out. So these are just plastic little animals, and you want to figure out your sizing based on what your board is. So for instance, I have my little wood pieces here that are the bottom. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, how I figured out my sizing. So over here you can see Ken had his board done first, and so I figured out my sizing for the pieces based on what he had. So this is a 4-inch round, and so if you did it bigger, obviously adjust accordingly.
And this is what the animals are going to be glued to.
Exactly.
Right?
So,
Okay,
and
good.
you want to do this because otherwise, not all of them stand perfectly either. So what you want to do is you have your guy here, and you just take a hot glue gun.
That's a good point, because it's super annoying when, when they keep on falling over.
Oh,
knocking
yeah.
things over. So that's a great idea.
Yeah, so you have that. And I do recommend gluing them on first.
Okay.
After that is when you're going to want to spray paint them. So when it comes to that, you want them to match your board. So you can see we have the blue, we have the white. You can spray paint them in coats, obviously outdoors or in a well-ventilated area. But what you could also do is once you have them all spray painted, what you could just have, if you want it to be a project for your kids, have them paint them whatever colors they really want to, and that could be kind of fun as well. And then after that, you just put them on your board.
And if the kids are painting them, they're more likely to play too.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. They're fully bought into this.
How do you know what animals are performing what functions of the actual chess pieces?
Yeah, so if it's something that you maybe haven't decided on, or it's not as obvious because they're safari animals, they could you could write on them with like a paint marker or something like that, and that would be here. Put that guy over there, and then that would be a great option as well.
It's so Alice in Wonderland, the whole thing.
The king is a large kind of bird of prey. I like that. We got the queen as the unicorn. I mean, this whole thing.
I have over there.
There you go.
I hope we have some extra time to play you guys.
I'm not playing you two. You have like.
I'm super competitive.
I'm out.
What? Really? Fantastic, you guys. Thank you so much. For full instructions, you know where to go. HallmarkChannel.com.